Hi, Rick Wells here. I'm gonna do something that turns my stomach a little bit. I'm gonna pretend I'm Cruz, and it's like 1971, 72, 73, somewhere back in those days. And I've got little Teddy Cruz here. Little Teddy Cruz. Now, there's a reason for this. The bear is obviously much cuter than a Weasley candidate or foreign candidate for president. But there's a point to this. People say, well, Cruz is a citizen. Aside from the debate about natural born or not, Cruz is a citizen because it's automatic. All right, so I make the comment that the citizenship papers aren't included. They're not part of the placenta. So if one is going to have U.S. citizenship, there are papers that must be associated with having U.S. citizenship. Just like if you're going to own a firearm, you've got, well, it's even more to the degree. But for example, analogy, if you're going to own a firearm, you've got the right to a firearm. But you have to pass a background check. You have to get paperwork associated with owning that firearm, or you can't get the firearm. Same kind of thing. If I'm going to get little Teddy here into citizenship status in the U.S., there's paperwork that goes to that. It's not like the border guards, the border patrollers all there waving, hey, we know you're Ted, good to see you, glad you decided to come over here and be one of us. It doesn't happen like that. So this kid can sit in Canada for 3 years as a Canadian citizen, but at some point when his parents took him to the U.S., paperwork had to be generated, or it didn't have to be generated, but it should have been generated. The way to do that, and I know what has to happen, because I just went through it myself with my daughter, who was born to 2 U.S. citizens abroad. And I've got this paperclip here to cover some of the information, but just to show what this is called a consular report of birth abroad. This is the paperwork that establishes documentation of being a U.S. citizen. This has to be filled out. This has to be completed by the age of 18, or the kid's SOL. He's not an American citizen. He has no more advantage of being an American citizen than any other illegal in the country, any other green card holder. The whole process is as if he's a complete foreigner. Up to 18, you got an edge, you got an avenue, you got an opportunity, you've got a right. After 18, you got none. That's the law. And to show that, you go to the State Department, and I've got that form right here. It has to be handled to the State Department. When I did it, I'll speak again from experience. I had to file an application, had to pay a fee, had to provide birth certificate, ultrasound copies, photographs of the mother, photographs of myself with the mother, photographs of the mother pregnant, a statement from her doctor, a statement from the hospital, a local birth record validation. All of this information had to be completed, sent off, an appointment scheduled, and then an interview with a State Department official for about 45 minutes to an hour, where passports, everything was scrutinized. It was looked at to make sure that I was there when I was supposed to be, my wife was there when she was supposed to be, and everything gelled. And if we didn't pass the interview, there was a guy that was in line in front of us. He had to get a DNA test. It's not automatic. It doesn't just happen. It has to be. They don't just give U.S. citizenship to anybody. You can't just pick up a kid walking down the street. Hey, you want to be an American? And take him over there and say, hey, this is my kid. The State Department official has to believe that that's genuinely your kid, and it's your responsibility to prove that it's your kid. It's not their responsibility to prove that it's not. And on this form, this is the form you file out to get the process rolling, the form you fill out to get the process rolling. Documents we need to see: child's birth certificate. Now see, all of this, none of this stuff was done, I don't believe. Child's birth certificate, evidence of the parent's U.S. citizenship and identity, evidence of the U.S. citizenship parent's physical residence in the United States prior to the birth, parent's marriage certificate, evidence of the termination of any previous marriage. We know that that's an issue with the Cruzes. And then even some of the signatures have to be done right in front of the official there. It's not just a matter of where it's an automatic thing. This idea that there's some kind of a halo that's above his head that's hey, he's an American. It just does not happen like that. That is not the way it works. On the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website, the other one was the State Department where you apply for this thing, but on the U.S. CIS website, they've got the conditions that have to be met. It's real simple. So you can either be both parents. You can either have both parents U.S. citizens. Okay, that doesn't apply. One parent a U.S. citizen at the time of the birth, and the birthday is on or after November 14th. Nope, that doesn't apply either. The genetic or non-genetic gestation legal mother is a U.S. citizen at the time of the birth, and the date of birth was after December 23rd of 1952. Okay, that applies. Genetic father is a U.S. citizen. Nope, that doesn't apply. And another option, in general, a child born outside is a U.S. citizen when the child's parents are not married to each other. Oh, well, that doesn't apply. They were married. Okay, so let's skip on down. Automatic U.S. citizenship after birth, but before age of 18. Maybe this one will work. Child was under 18 or not yet born on February 27th. No, that doesn't apply. Child was under 18 from December 24th, 52 to February of 2001. That applies. And child was residing as a green card holder in the U.S. And both parents naturalized before child's 18th birthday. Well, now was Ted Cruz a green card holder in the U.S.? No, probably not, since he was a Canadian citizen and green cards weren't required for Canadian citizens in the U.S. Probably not. Were both parents naturalized before his 18th birthday? Well, maybe, but his mom supposedly is an American citizen, right? Isn't that how he claims to have his right to American citizenship? So that's probably not the case. So, let's see here. This child was under 18 and the green card holder thing. No, that's just not gonna work. That's just not gonna work. So let's skip on down to the next condition. Oh wait, there's not anymore. There's not anymore. Then that means he didn't have a shot. What happened to my screen here? So none of those apply. So maybe that's why he's got his records sealed. And how do you seal your records anyway? How do you do that? Do you just go to the Canadian embassy and say my records are sealed? Do you go to the FBI and say I want these sealed? How do you do that? And why do you do that? And if you're applying for a job, is it customary for the employee, which in this case would be a president to the people, to go to his employer and say, I'm not going to provide you with proof of my eligibility to work. You're just going to have to take it there, bucko. No, if you're going to apply for a job, you go and you comply with the requests of the employer. So there's some real issues here. But the fact that he refuses to show his paperwork, I can't understand why any Cruz supporter will accept that. They wouldn't accept it with Hussein Obama. You were adamant, or you were up in arms, or you were just beside yourself, stomping your feet. But this guy comes in, and because he's white and he talks preachy, you're going to let him get by on it? You're going to let a friggin' Canadian or a non-citizen, a friggin' illegal alien in the country, again, be president? And that doesn't, you Cruz bots don't have a problem with that? Talk about hypocrites. How much you were up in arms for 7.5 years with Obama, but it's okay because he's your boy, he talks preachy, and he's a white boy. And you're conservatives, and you're constitutional. Really. Thanks for listening.